European leaders, including many NATO allies, are outraged by former President Trump's comments this weekend, where he encouraged Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want if Vladimir Putin were to attack a NATO country that, in his view, did not spend enough for its defense. What message is this sending to America's NATO allies? You can only imagine. Joining us now, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, Admiral James Stavridis. Well, I can only imagine, Admiral, when you saw that, your reaction as a former SACR, as it's known. I mean, Europe is up in arms over it, at least verbally. The fact that the EU got all of their members together, unanimity, 28 countries, I think, including Hungary, overcoming Hungary's objections, to put $50 billion in Ukraine's pocket just a week or so ago. And the U.S. is still not anteed up. And the U.S. is not #1 on its contributions to NATO. Far from it, per capita, for GDP.
Yeah, you and I are old enough to remember Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. What we're hearing now is, Mr. Putin, do whatever you want to Europe. We've come a long way since the days of Ronald Reagan. And it would be a colossal mistake for the United States to walk away from NATO. Here is an alliance of 32 countries that represent over 55% of the world's GDP, 3 million troops under arms, almost all of them volunteers. And by the way, on defense spending, the Europeans collectively spend over $300 billion a year. Newsflash, that's the second largest defense budget in the world, bigger than China, about triple what Russia puts on the table. So where former President Trump is coming up with this mysterious conversation where supposedly the leader of a large European country said to him, sir, what would you do if we didn't pay our dues? I can assure you that conversation never happened. It's surreal. So again, this is a real failure of U.S. leadership if we walk away. And you're correct, Andrea, the Europeans are quite concerned about it.
Yeah, I was actually at the Brandenburg Gate covering Ronald Reagan's speech, one of the great moments of my career, because it was so dramatic. In any case, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, now in a very unhappy epilogue here, has canceled his trip to a NATO meeting, defense ministers meeting in Brussels, after being hospitalized at Walter Reed Hospital for a bladder issue. This is not related, supposedly, to the prostate cancer treatment. He's transferred his duties, though, this time to his deputy, to Deputy Secretary Hicks. He's alerted the White House instantly. He's alerted the Joint Chiefs. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Brown. He was much more transparent about his health, according to the new guidelines that he's agreed to, compared to when he was hospitalized in January. Your thoughts about this?
First and foremost, we all ought to be hoping Lloyd Austin, an immense patriot of this nation, a contemporary of mine. We all wish him well, and he will, I'm sure, recover. Number two, he owned the mistake he made. Very few people do that these days. He said, I did this, I handled this poorly, I'll do it right next time. I don't think he anticipated turning around a few weeks later and getting a chance to show that, but he's done so. And thirdly, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, Dr. Kath Hicks, highly competent, highly capable. The department's in good hands between her and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General C.Q. Brown. U.S. security won't miss a beat. Let's hope that Lloyd Austin recovers quickly.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Admiral James Stavridis.